Welcome to the Gamers Inn. Come on in, pull up a chair next to the fire. It looks like you've had a long journey. I'm your host, Jocelyn, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Ryan. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy almost Thanksgiving.
Almost Thanksgiving.
Some of us still have to work.
Right, sorry. And for those Americans listening, yes, in Canada we have the PS4, Extra Life is over, and Halloween was a blast. So
It was amazing.
yeah, you missed the greatest time traveling ever. It was great.
But yes, it is actually Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, which is very, very exciting. We actually do Christmas-October on the Thanksgiving weekend because Joel's parents go down to Florida. They're leaving actually, I think, on either Wednesday or Thursday. So we do Christmas early. So it's like Christmas weekend for me as well as Thanksgiving. It's just this whole big crazy thing. All the Americans listening are going like, what the hell is going on up there?
Yeah, we should just convince them that we do the whole thing early. We do Halloween,
everything in one weekend.
Christmas, everything except Boxing Day for some reason.
Yeah.
We always wait till the 26th.
Very, very
That's
true.
good.
So
Good.
do you have any special plans for this Thanksgiving weekend?
I know my family's not listening, so I will say this. I'm going home to visit my parents, and then I'm coming back up to where I currently live to visit with Ashley's parents, and then I'm gonna get my game on, and I'm hoping I can get my game on sooner rather than later. It's a long travel. I know I'm an awful person, but hey, it's like
I actually took extra time off work to spend more time with not even my family, my significant other's family. And you're just like, I hope I just get them all over with because I want to play games.
I know I'm an awful person.
You're a terrible person.
But in all honesty, yeah, I'm looking forward to going home and seeing my brothers and seeing what games they got. That's my favorite part is I go home and I say, hey, how you doing? Then I dig, again, awful person, sticking with the meme here, digging through their collection. It's like, oh, this game looks great. I'm going to borrow it and then bring it back at Christmas time. Unfortunately, I don't have that luxury at Ashley's parents, but they make really good blueberry pie. So.
Well, there you go. So for my Thanksgiving weekend, I am actually launching a new podcast.
Whoa.
This Monday, we are going to be live on A Move TV right after A Move Radio. And it's myself and Garrett, who was on the show filling in for you a couple weeks ago. So that was episode 91. He's also on A Move Radio, Starcast, and I feel like there's something else. Starcast, This Week in Blizz that became A Move Radio. I think maybe that's it.
Yeah.
And also, I'm a total terrible person. And as well, we have Dills from The Instance. So it's going to be the three of us doing a podcast about Hearthstone, and it is called The Angry Chicken, which is the best name for a podcast ever of life.
That's pretty good. I'm surprised The Angry Chicken wasn't taken by like an Angry Birds like fan podcast.
Or a Zelda fan podcast.
Right, I'm the one that said that.
Actually, I think Yagavos commented on that.
Oh, I can't remember. I could have sworn he's British. He's probably more cunning than I am anyway.
Yeah,
so
probably.
That makes sense.
So yeah, that launches on Monday. It's at 10 p.m. Eastern, which is 11 o'clock my time, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did you swing that time frame?
It was the time that ended up working out best for everybody. So I don't have a whole ton of free nights during the week, and Mondays very, very late was one of the free times. So it works out for everyone. I'm pretty stoked. I believe the Twitter account to follow is TAC Podcast, because of course the Angry Chicken was already taken. Why wouldn't it be?
Is that a Zelda related?
I don't really know. I'm pretty sure that the description of it was either that one or just straight Angry Chicken. I can't remember, but one of them just says like cluck cluck, and I was like, I don't even understand. But then I guess I don't speak Angry Chicken.
The Angry Chicken hasn't tweeted yet, and it just says the Angry Chicken location, your mind. That's not even clever.
Yep. So
I hate squatters like that. It's so annoying.
That's okay. TAC Podcast is amazing.
It works as well.
It does work.
That could also be like, just by hearing it, you might think it's like a horse-related podcast.
I didn't think that until just now, and now you've totally ruined it for me. Now I'm going to have to call it TAC. Oh.
No, TAC podcast, it just flows better. You can
Yeah.
just explain to them. That gets you thinking, and they have that conversation. No, it's about horses. It's like, no, it's about this great card game that only select cool people are playing. It's very
Like?
exclusive. Like Jocelyn and I. Yeah. Finally, I didn't even get invited. Blizzard did not see fit to invite me. I had to
Really?
beg. I had to beg David Michael for a key. I think at one point he was going to make me dance like a monkey.
I'm
But
surprised that he didn't ask for the semi-nude calendar because we've had
well,
that request many times.
you
So
know,
I'm surprised.
Nerdtacular, the next Nerdtacular I'm at is going to be interesting because I'm pretty sure he's going to cash in on whatever I promised to give him. I mean, once I saw that beta code, he just here's the first 6 numbers. Ooh, what's next? It's like you got to do something for it. Like,
Oh dear.
I'm kidding. No, in all honesty, he's very nice. I've been playing it like crazy for the last couple days. It is as good as people are saying. Um, it's not crazy blows your mind awesome that comes with like a very limited beta and all those people really loving it. I mean, it would never live up to that hype, but it certainly is a very great card game, and I love the way people describe it as magic for babies because I found myself getting into it and understanding it, yet still constantly learning about these new cards and how it works. Um,
It is
yeah, it's
it is
great.
simplified in the way that in Magic, in order to play a card, you have to play certain mana cards, and they all have different types. So it might be like 2 water, 2 earth, or something to make a mud monster. That's not actually a card, I don't think. But anyways, you get the point. Like there's different types of mana, whereas in Hearthstone, it's just there's one kind of mana. Each card costs a certain number of mana, and you build up mana as the game goes on. It's very, very, very simplistic.
I love it.
Me too.
I just it's simple and it removes that sort of barrier where the fun should be the strategy of laying your cards down, not like okay, micromanaging your mana pool, right? So in
Mm-hmm.
this, it's like you're looking at your opponent's health, like whether it's at 1 or like 15, that next card you draw can always change what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just finished a match where the guy I was sitting at 15 and he kind of left himself open because my minions that were out wouldn't be able to kill him
Mm-hmm.
in one turn. So he kind of took a chance. And I draw a card that has a charge ability, which basically, usually when you lay a card, it has to wait a turn. And this one it doesn't. And I kicked his butt because I had like 10 mana and I just destroyed his health. And sometimes the opposite happens to you, where you underestimate what people have in their hand, and then they just tear you a new one, and you lose. It's
Yeah.
so
Speaking of losing, uh,
lost.
I had my first arena run today since the patch.
Mhm.
I didn't play a whole lot of arena. Arena is cool and interesting because it's a totally different mechanic. What happens, for those of you who don't know, in arena is every deck that you have has 30 cards in it. So in arena, you have to build a new fresh deck every single time you do an arena run. And what it
Right.
does is it shows you 3 random cards, and you have to pick one of those 3 random cards. It could be any card in the game. It doesn't have to be something that you've already unlocked or, that's available to you through your packs. Like you could have, just through total random chance, 30 legendary cards in your pack, like in your deck. It's
Oh,
completely and totally random, and it pulls from every available card in the game. So you do this 30 times where you pick one of 3 cards, and then that is your final deck. And then you go into the arena and you play matches against other people who have other random decks, and you get 3 chances to lose, basically. Like you lose 3 times and you're out, and you have to build a new arena deck, and it costs you coins every time you build an arena deck. So I only did it 2 or 3 times before the patch, and for the patch came down, I guess it was last Tuesday, so like a week and a half ago, and where they totally wiped everyone's accounts and everyone started from fresh again. So I did my first run. It was free because your first arena run is always free. They just give it to you as a kind of taster, see how you like it sort of thing. I don't know the cards in the game well enough to be playing an arena. I
Yeah.
knew I was going to lose, but I was just like, you know what? It's cool. Like, it's arena. It's just for fun. So I made my deck, and it says, you know, searching for opponent, and guess who it puts me up against?
Who?
Trump. Do you know who Trump is?
Donald Trump. He's got
No.
that weird hair piece. Saw this on Twitter. I joke.
Yeah,
At first I thought you actually did play Donald Trump. It's like, that's
it would
impressive.
pretty much be the same as if I logged into StarCraft and went to go play a game and then like pulled DeMuslim. Like Trump is the Hearthstone guy. He streams all the time. He has like 5,000 people watching his stream. So I see his name come up and I'm just like, shit. Because I literally just got an email saying Trump has just gone live on Twitch. And I'm just like, I'm live on Twitch getting my ass kicked right
we need
now.
To look this up.
It was awful.
Does he have it archived? We need to link that.
Oh,
in the show notes.
I'm sure he probably does. And
did you get your ass kicked pretty bad?
It wasn't that bad. I mean, I wasn't good, but I knew I wasn't going to be good. But that wasn't a huge deal back when I thought that I was just going to, you know, play someone of my skill level. Yeah, it doesn't match you like that in arena. In arena, they just throw you to the wolves.
Well, in arena, I think they'd match you. Like they say, skill level when you hit play, but I always think that they're just referencing the cards in your deck, right?
No. There's a similar ranking system working in the background of Hearthstone on the play mode that there is working in StarCraft in ladder.
Oh.
So your wins and losses and stuff all go into your background number that tells the computer how good you are, and then it matches people up against you who have a similar number. I can't remember. I think we were talking about this last week. I can't remember the number's called. I should really look it up because it seems like it's something I should know. But anyway, so in play mode, it matches you up like a ladder. But in arena, it's just kind of a free-for-all because it's so hard to match people up based on skill when the cards are always random. Like, I mean, you could be playing a hunter and have no hunter cards in your deck because they didn't come up in your random deck generation. You could be a hunter playing with paladin and priest cards. So it's totally random. So anyways, I think I was playing a paladin. I had a whole bunch of these like guardian cards or something. I don't normally play a paladin, so I can't remember what the card was, but I had like 4 or 5 of this one card, and I was just like, I've heard people talk about this card. I know it's good. I'm just gonna get it. And it, like, when you play it, it's a 5/6. It costs 7 mana, and it restores 6 health. So I managed to play like 4 or 5 of them, and I just kept like getting a little bit of my health back. But then eventually he slammed me pretty hard. But I got him down to, I feel like he was around 20 health. So, I mean, I made a dent.
You did. You went down doing this.
And as soon as I tweeted out who I was playing against, I had people that were just like, just say well played and explode yourself. Like, don't even try. And I was like, well, I have to try.
You know, now, okay, speaking of arena, I started an arena match before we got in because, like you said, you get that one golden ticket to get in for free. And now you build a deck and you get to use that deck until you lose 3 times, and you don't have to play all your arena games in a row until you lose 3. You can keep coming back.
I didn't know until like I thought once you left the arena then that was it. Until I think there was like a tip that popped up as I was queuing for my 3rd game that was like, you know, you don't actually have to play all your arena games in a row. And I'm like, well, I do now. But
Did you lose all 3?
I lost all 3. I made some really poor card choices. I felt like really almost anxious when I was trying to pick my deck because I was like, oh, I don't know what cards I should pick because I don't know what's going to come up later and it's all random, and if I pick this but then I don't get this one, then it's going to be just bad. So
it feels like you're timed.
I had some arena anxiety there.
Yeah,
and then my experience after I actually picked my cards and tried to play, I was just like, I would not go back to this.
Can I just say that playing the you start off playing the computer and then you kind of experiment by playing like just against random players and then arena as well. And I know a couple people were complaining about this, but I am so glad that I don't have to. I can't chat with the person I'm playing.
Yes. Oh my God.
So happy about that because there was times like he's just laughing at me. He's using racial slurs.
Yeah.
Like making fun of my masculinity or sexuality. I mean, it's probably a YouTube comment on the other end over there. Like
it's gotta be.
Yeah, I assume the worst, and I'm just Canadian. It's, oh, sorry, I hurt you. Oh my God, I just kicked your ass. Oh, jeez, you know.
I always want to be able to
Yeah.
talk to them because I want to say things like, oh, I'm sorry, or oh, I didn't mean to do that, or, like something. And it's really funny to not be able to talk to them, but I don't want to hear what they have to say. Part of me doesn't want to watch that stream. And I mean, Trump is not, he's a really nice guy. He's not one of the
Gamer.
he's more of a sit back. He's quite quiet when he streams. He's really knowledgeable and knows his stuff, but he's a little bit more of a quiet type person. I'm sure he didn't say anything mean, but I'm scared just because I'm like, I don't really want to know. What if the chat room said something mean and he said it out loud or something, Like I'm just yeah, I don't know if I want. You should probably watch that video for me and then tell me if it's good.
I mean, yeah, if you say he's quiet, like I don't like watching people who are like, hate streamers or whatever, who just feel the need to vomit crap out of their mouth. It's just
I'm sure he was probably saying something along the lines of, "Oh, why did they do that? Oh, why I don't even know how to counter this because it's so random."
Well, it's more like, oh, well, what this person's doing, and I mean, I don't know, because they have random cards, is that they should probably be doing something like this as opposed to something like that. Like, that makes
That
for
would
a
be
good
helpful.
educational. It's just too bad you weren't tuning in at the same time, so it's like, oh, okay, that's right, I should do that. But he doesn't know what you have in your hands, so yeah, it's not very helpful.
But yeah, so that was my first experience in the arena since the patch, and it was good. It was fun. Dills is huge into arena, and everyone who's talking about Hearthstone becoming an esport are kind of talking about arena being that esport, and I'm just like, I don't understand how that would be an esport. I would much rather watch play ladder mode, where people build their decks and, like go up against each other and, there's some skill to putting together a deck. I mean, I can see the flip side too, where there's skill in knowing every single card in the game and being able to think like, okay, well, if I play card X, I know it can be countered by A, B, and C, and there's a X number chance that he has those cards in his hand, sort of thing. But I don't know. I think taking the time to get the cards and build up your deck and then take that into a match is a bit of a better measure. I don't know. Ryan, what do you think? Now that you've had your hands in it, what do you think is a more likely esport?
Well, I mean, a typical esport would be just the straight up play. Like if you look at they have Magic tournaments where people like collect cards and build decks and try to have the best deck possible. And that would apply to Hearthstone as well in the sense that you could do a play tournament. But I think you're right in the sense that the arena would work from a different standpoint. It would be more you would have to be more skilled in order to win in the arena a majority of the time, even though some of it's left to random chance, but there's still that skill level that's required to roll with the punches as the cards come in.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
As I was talking about it, I was like, oh, I can kind of see how arena would be. And
just
maybe
makes
why
it
I should
different.
not be in the arena at all right now.
Yeah, I think I cashed in my golden ticket a little too early. I think the way they set that game up is really smart in the sense that I feel like they funnel you towards the play the AI, and usually play the AI is boring because you're sitting there hitting your head against a robot, and it's not doing anything. It's not benefiting you. But in Hearthstone, it's unlocking classes, it's unlocking cards for your classes, it's increasing your overall level. It's not gaining you any gold, but it's still you're getting better at the game. And then I think after that, they sort of say, hey, why don't you try the play? And, that starts to earn you some gold, and still it's earning you levels and cards and stuff. And I think the arena is like this, okay, when you're sick and tired of playing random people or min-maxing your deck, throw it out and just try something completely random. And I think it's a cool way to discover cards that you haven't found yet, I guess.
I also had the angry chicken in my deck. I didn't actually get a chance to play it, but it came up 3 times, and I picked it the first time because I was like, I can't not, and I have to every single time I see that card now. I think I have to pick it. So but then the other 2 times it came up, I was just like, no, angry chicken, I have enough of you. You have literally no use. Okay, yeah.
Man.
For those of you who don't know, the Angry Chicken costs 1 mana to cast, and it has 1 attack and 1 health, and it has the enrage power that when it takes damage, it gets +5 attack. But as soon as it takes damage, it dies because it only has 1 health, unless you buff it up like crazy, which nobody ever does.
Well, I was gonna say a 6 attack card, once you get a little bit more health on that thing, might be pretty useful.
But see, that's the thing. You really have to stack up the health before somebody kills it. And it takes a while, and the stacking up health cards are usually higher mana to cast. So actually buffing up an Angry Chicken big enough so that you can't kill it before it gets its enrage effect is pretty much impossible.
It's interesting. You learn fairly quickly whether you're playing someone who knows what they're doing, whether they're targeting your minions or targeting your hero. And it took me a while to realize the strategy behind that. And I guess if you were to lay an Angry Chicken on the field and then buff it up, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about Hearthstone, not some weird porno. But if you were to buff your chicken, I think people, unless you gave it the taunt ability, people wouldn't be attacking it if it had enough health that it would gain that buff, right? So it's interesting. That strategy is very interesting and something I haven't really experienced in any sort of strategy game. Where you're trying to keep people from attacking your minions, but also to stop them from attacking your hero too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of layered in a way that I've never seen before, and I think it makes it different from a lot of the other card games I've played. Unless I'm wrong and all the other card games are like this. But
well, no, but I mean, it's all the other card games that you've played, right? It's not like you're making a sweeping statement talking about how it's every card game of life ever. It's like, no, of the card games that I have played, it's like this, and Hearthstone is different, and that is a perfectly valid statement.
Good, because it's not at all like Solitaire.
No.
Yes, Solitaire's got way more levels. But I'm enjoying it, and one more thing. I saw Willie Dills was referencing Willie Dills. We have to call him by both his names. He was playing Hearthstone using his iPad through Splashtop.
Yes.
So, great. Confirmed Hearthstone works on iPad. The UI is already there. I went one step further and loaded Splashtop on my iPhone at work today during break.
Did it work?
It works amazing. There are little things that requires more work than I'm sure Blizzard would make you go through in their UI, but it's not a game that's impossible to play on your iPhone. I think if they're able to get it working on the iPad, there's no reason why they couldn't make a couple tweaks to make it work on your iPhone. I mean, with those Retina displays, you can easily read every one of those cards.
Really? Because that's what I was looking at. I think somebody took a screenshot or something, posted a picture on Twitter, basically, and I opened it and I was looking at it on my phone and I was like, that's pretty small. But again, it was like it wasn't a screenshot of an actual iPhone. I think it was someone took a picture of an iPad and then posted the picture of the so I mean, clearly the resolution wasn't there, which I think was causing the problems. But I was just kind of like, that's actually pretty small and it would be hard to click on and stuff. But if you could figure out a way to work that'd be awesome. Does it eat up your data?
No.
Are you sure? Because if it's streaming your desktop from home
I'd have to look into it.
to your iPhone and then sending the information back again.
I'll do a little bit of an experiment on. I'll reset my data counter because obviously right now it's probably going to say like you've used 100 billion gigs since the last time you reset. And last time we reset was June 2006 when you bought an iPhone. So I'll have to fiddle with that. But yeah, that's actually a good point. I mean, I have 6 gigs of data, which is unheard of in Canada.
Oh my God.
But, yeah.
I have like 1.
Yeah, see, yeah.
I keep going over. I think I keep hitting about 3, and it costs me an extra 10 or 15 bucks per gig, I think. So instead of being like, $70 a month, my bill is like the better part of $100 a month because I keep going over on my data. But I don't think that there's a cheaper plan. Like I'm in the plan where it automatically rolls you up to the next one based on your data usage. So, but yeah.
Yeah, mean, this will be eye-opening for anybody who's not in Canada listening, but like I pay $30 for 6 gigs, and that's like a student plan Rogers introduces like every couple of years. So I think at most plans you can only get a gig max, and then
Yeah,
after that they charge you at the wazoo.
it's pretty ridiculous. So,
Yeah.
I mean, because I was thinking when I saw Dill's tweet that out, I was just like, oh my God, I can play Hearthstone on the go. This is so amazing because I want
Hmm.
to play it on my phone. And I was just like, oh, but the data. I usually
Yeah.
just read Twitter like crazy, and that's what shoots my data through the roof. I'm not even watching videos. I'm just like refreshing Twitter all the time and clicking on the links and loading the pages and everything else. And, just that fairly consistent Twitter action is enough to throw me over the top on a lot of things. So,
Uh,
um, yeah, it's definitely interesting, and I would love to have access to it, but I'm just worried about what the data cost will be. So you'll have to let us know. But
I'll do a little experimenting with it.
so you got your Hearthstone key a couple days ago. What were you
Mhm.
playing before that?
I this is harkening back to when Garrett was on because I'm pretty much discussing what he had been on to discuss. But I rented Grand Theft Auto 5 over the weekend. Went to Redbox, paid like $3, rented on Saturday and took it back Sunday. Super amazing deal. Because I can't afford to buy it right now. I'm on a budget, which is why I'm not buying Pokemon tonight. I
Oh, poor
know.
Pokemon.
Kind of want to buy Pokemon, but Ashley will kill me.
She
I
doesn't
already
have
got
to know.
I already got in trouble.
For what?
I bought the XCOM expansion because it went on sale for like 25% off. I got it for like $20. And then I got that new Telltale game that came out today, which has yet to release on their website, which is crazy. It's called The Wolf Among Us, based on the
Mm.
Fables series.
Ooh.
It's getting really good reviews. I have not read Fables. I'm not a big comic guy, but I have not read Fables. And yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it, but it's supposed to come out today and it's still not available on their website, but it is on Steam, which is ridiculous. But yeah, anyways, budget. I'd get in trouble if I bought Pokemon. Let's just wait till the
Just
dust settles and we'll see.
tell her that it's like your job and stuff.
I That's a funny story because I want to buy a Zamp shirt for the Extra Life stream. I haven't got it yet, and I figured, crap, we're in budget mode, and it's like, wait, it's a business expense.
Yes, it
It's
is.
sort of
It's
is.
marketing.
It's more tangible than a game. It's a little easier to convince her that it is a business expense if she is listening. It is a business expense because it's advertising, it's marketing. But
Exactly.
yeah, Pokemon wise is probably not a business expense. So.
Aw.
She's getting home. Okay. Anyways, I rented Grand Theft Auto 5. Um, and I have a few things to say about it that probably won't, you know, a lot of 13-year-olds won't agree with me if you're listening to this, but I almost didn't play it. Like I was like an hour or two in and I'm like, guys, I don't know if I'm feeling this. It's just really
Really?
childish, you know? This is why I put adult talk in here because I
Well, I
feel
kind
like
of wonder. I was like, Ryan, I don't want to talk dirty. I'm sorry.
no, it's not. It's just you start the game off playing as what's his name? Franklin, which is the kind of the gang dude shooting people up trying to be a good guy person. And they are just swearing like nobody's business. They're throwing the MFs around, they're throwing the N-word around, and it's just
I don't really understand that. I mean, I
I
maybe it's just people in my realm. I mean, they're swearing. I swear. I've sworn on the podcast already,
yeah.
but I mean, it's not like that M and F and Hearthstone BS
Yeah.
blah blah, like it's not, it's literally not every other word, and yet for some reason video games do that all the time when they have like a mature rating. It's always like you
Yeah.
log into the game and you're just like, oh, that
But
doesn't add anything to the story.
I think the issue is that, and again, like this was just the first 2 hours where I wasn't really feeling it. I did get into it, but it's just the swearing was like very childish. It was like I like to swear too. I swear all the time. It just comes out of me. Like I can't control it sometimes. I can wait. I can control it. Because saying that, if you're listening, future boss or whatever, I can control what I say. But I just sometimes I swear. And in this game, it's like it's oh, we missed a fuck in here. Oh, it's search and replace the and throw it in there because you gotta have a F word in there if it's made by Rockstar. But and then it's just but then it starts to get going. The story gets to starts to evolve, and then you start to unlock other characters. You start playing as Michael, which is a retired cop guy or a retired crook, and he's living with his family, and the story starts to get off, and then you start to realize that the reason it feels childish, is because the game looks pretty realistic. I mean, the graphics are really nice.
I saw there was a video of someone who went into Grand Theft Auto on the PC and basically just captured all of like the vistas and stuff and like the Golden Gate Bridge no, not the Golden Gate Bridge. Sorry, that one's San Francisco. Anyways, one of the bridges in LA. It's one of the like iconic skyline type shots, and it looks almost like actual photos, and it's just this kind of like montage of Grand Theft Auto graphics, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and I mean, when a game looks like that, you're sort of you're expecting this realistic, very grounded experience, and when people are sort of acting very childish, it kind of catches you off guard. At least it did for me, and it's just I wasn't feeling it, and then you start to realize that this game is a satire. It's a parody, I guess. Not a parody, but it's just this very tongue-in-cheek. Like, even though it's dealing with serious things, I feel like that's the pass it gets. It's so ridiculous, yet so realistic at the same time that you give it that pass. And it started to grow on me, and the stuff that happens in Grand Theft Auto that makes it so much fun starts to happen. Like, two of my favorite things to do over the weekend were I drive as fast as possible when I'm going from mission to mission, as fast as possible. So they added this in Grand Theft Auto 4, where if you hit something hard enough, you would fly out of the windshield and die. And it's my favorite thing to do. Like, I'd fail a mission, and I'd just be laughing hysterically on the couch because my guy just flew out of the car, went flying like 30 feet, and slammed into a pole. And it's the most hilarious. And I mean, you hit it, and you die, and then you seconds later you're walking out of a hospital as if nothing happened. I mean, that's how sort of like crazy the game is.
Yeah.
And the other favorite thing to do is again, being so realistic, and you can kind of like with the push of a button like throw a punch, and the wind up is hilarious. So I just walk up behind, and I swear I don't have violent tendencies. Someone's walking down the sidewalk, and I just creep up behind them and just freaking rail them in the back of the head, and then they just go limp and
because why not?
It's the most fun you can have. Okay, anybody who's laughing at me and thinks I'm crazy, go do that. You can say I told you to do it, and then tell me that it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny to watch someone just go like, don't do it in real life, kids. In Grand Theft Auto 5. It makes me sound like a ridiculous violent person.
Kids.
But it is probably the most fun you can have with that game. And I should mention that when I rented this game, Ashley's younger sister and her younger boyfriend were over. I think they're like 14 and 15 or 16 or something. And they're sitting on the couch. And I'm like, I don't know if I should be playing this in front of you guys. And they're like, oh, don't worry. My friend already beat it. You should try landing a helicopter on a train. And I'm like, all right. I guess I'm going to play this game in front of you kids. And I'm sitting there like, I don't know if I like all this swearing. And they're like, it's all right. And this is an example of two...
You're becoming an old man.
I know. Two perfectly mature kids who have talked to their parents and gotten their parents to buy the game for them. That's the way to go about it. But there are kids out there that I'm sure we see every day that are just douchebags that should not be playing this game. Because they will literally go out and punch someone in the back of the head, a random person on the sidewalk, thinking, hey, I did it in Grand Theft Auto, why can't I do it in real life? But
I'm shaking my head at you right now, Ryan. Video games don't make people do things.
But
Smack!
if they're already douchebags, think about it.
Then they're already douchebags. That is not Grand Theft Auto's fault. If
know,
they're gonna
that's
go
what I'm
punch a
saying.
bitch, they're gonna go punch a bitch. That's
I
nothing to
didn't
do with
say
Grand
I
Theft
was.
Auto.
Whoa, you're putting words in my mouth. I was not punching bitches. I was equal opportunity punching people in the back of the head. There were some bitches and there were some bastards, but I did not target specific demographics. Although there was that really nerdy guy that I punched. I figured this will be funny. Actually, I did hit someone and their glasses just flew off.
Really?
And I'm like,
Physics
wow, this
in that
game
game are amazing.
It's like, wow, this is so realistic. Oh my god.
It's
This is
really
like,
taking me back.
yeah, we've talked a lot about punching people. And as the story continues and you start to introduce new characters, like it is really interesting. I really want to play it on the next gen consoles, which is why I rented it. And the age shows, like the cars look amazing, the landscape looks amazing, but the people look really robotic and Barbie dollish, like really
Yeah.
action figure-y. And man, a next gen engine would just really kick it up a notch. So I'm
Really? You
hoping.
think that that's a next gen thing, not a weird Rockstar programming thing? Because we were talking about this
Hmm,
when Garrett was on, and
hmm,
I don't like the Rockstar games. Like, they're very, very stiff in
yeah.
their movement controls, whether that's driving or walking or whatever. But yeah, no, I hate those games because of the movement mechanics, and that's everything. That's LA Noire, that's Red Dead Redemption, and the Grand Theft Autos. Like, I just don't like their movement mechanics, and it sucks because, like, LA Noire, for instance, with the exception of the very last brief or like department he works in, I really enjoyed the story in LA Noire, but I just like, oh, playing through it was such a slog.
Yeah. This one's kind of the same weird movement, and I mean they get away from that a bit by using the cover button in the sense that when you're running, you're kind of feels like you're kind of running like this, and then you'd hit the R1 button, and then instantly your character would just be so fluid, and it's like, why can't I do that when I'm using the controller? And it'd be really just quick snap to cover,
Mm-hmm.
and that keeps you from dying a lot, but it shows you the difference between what you're actually doing with the controller and what you're doing with the animations.
Mm-hmm.
But man, yeah, it's just the faces and the way people move, and it's kind of like when they're talking, they're like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," it's weird. That was the best impression I could do, but I think it is a next gen thing because I think if they were able to give it more soda, sorta. Now I forget what I was talking about. With the next gen engine, I think they could really put some more like animation into those into the faces and make them look a little bit more realistic rather than like plastered on texture kind of stuff. But man, I think we're tearing apart it too much. It's just the cars look fantastic, and
Overall, did you really
yeah.
enjoy playing it? Because again, this is something I haven't touched yet, and I probably won't until it goes on some big, huge sale. But
Yeah, I mean, it's just fun. It's again, like before when I was saying it felt really childish and I kind of wanted to stop playing. Then you get to the other side of that argument in the sense that it felt really, really childish and it just felt fun. Like when they stopped swearing and like, for example, there's a mission where you first start working with Franklin as Michael and your kid tries to sell a boat to a bunch of pirates and they end up stealing the boat. So they have it on a highway and you're chasing it with your car. And then during the mission, you want to get Franklin to go up on the boat, kill all the people, and then save your son. So Franklin like crawls onto the front of the car, which is great. Like you're going like 100 miles per hour. And then I finally got up close enough to the boat for him to jump on. So he gets up on the car just to kind of jump up onto the boat. And suddenly the trailer just slams me into the medium and Franklin goes flying, hits a pole, dies, mission fails. And again, it was just one of those moments where I couldn't stop laughing because this just weird thing just happens even though you fail the mission, and it's those moments of pure insanity that really just make that game so much fun. And we didn't even talk about the heist stuff. Like that's just really good gameplay. where you're like preparing to do a heist, and you can kind of choose different paths, like whether you want to go in guns blazing or like collect enough like specific vehicles and gases and stuff to go in silently. And man, like that's really cool. But like I said, it's those moments of pure and you just didn't see it coming insanity that just make that game worth playing. Even if you can go out and rent it, like just give it a shot. And you have to put a few hours into it to get through the
Yeah.
MFing and
That is
you know.
actually the whole renting idea is a really cool point because I mean, for me, I just read an article talking about like why do we even bother buying games day one anymore? Because they, especially for big titles like Grand Theft Auto 5, always come out with like a game of the year edition or a complete edition or the gold edition or whatever they call it. And it's just like, why would I go out and buy Grand Theft Auto? I mean, there are some games where it's like, I'm totally hyped about it. I'm going to get it day one because I think it's going to be amazing. Like the new Zelda for 3DS. That's something I'm going to get. Well, I guess portable titles are a little different. But, you know, like there are some franchises and some titles that I will just go out and buy day one regardless. And then, but then things like Grand Theft Auto 5, I mean, I'm going to wait until they're done with all the DLC and there's some bundle and then it goes on sale on Steam. It'll probably be like Christmas next year. I'll get Grand Theft Auto 5. It'll run on my PC. My PC will be awesome because it's fully upgradable and yeah.
Yeah.
Why would I buy it day one? And renting it is a good solution, I think.
Renting is a nice halfway solution in the sense that if you don't have enough self-control or willpower like I do, like I keep hearing people talk about Grand Theft Auto 5. I played and enjoyed Grand Theft Auto 4, and I'm just like, this just feels wrong, me not playing this game, you know? Like it's good. People love it universally. Like I need to try it, and finally it came in. The way I rent games, which would work in the States as well, or probably out where you are, is Redbox.
I know we
It's
don't have it out here yet.
you don't have Redbox? Oh
No.
man, see, I think it's like soft launched in Ontario before it goes Canada wide,
Yeah.
but it's great. It's a vending machine. I reserve it on my computer, and then I walk to the Walmarts and pick up my game, and I walk home and I play it.
I
There's
walk down to the Walmarts.
there's two Walmarts in town, so I can pick which Walmart. That's why the Walmarts works in this scenario. They're not side by side. You have to eventually make a decision as to which Walmart you want to go to. But in general, I can go to the Walmarts and rent a game.
I see. Oh man. So speaking of crazy, unexpected,
Right.
childish games, Borderlands 2, man.
Uh, there's so many midgets that died that night.
Well, not even that night. Joel and I have been playing that a lot. Okay, no, I don't mean like in my real life. Yes, it's all in Borderlands.
You should have just kept going. If you didn't stop there, no one would have
I've
questioned.
ever known. Yeah, so
Oh.
last week after the show, we played Borderlands 2 for about, I guess I played for about an hour and then I had to go to bed because stupid work. But you guys ended up playing for what, 2 or 3 hours?
Yeah, we kept going.
I know I left and Joel was like level 9 and now he's like level 14 and I'm just like, oh, I'm so far
We
behind.
didn't that far, but we played a little. We played another hour after that, just doing some quests. That game's co-op system when you're not playing right from the beginning together is a
Yeah.
little janky in the sense that like we were starting quests that weren't good for anybody, but we all had them,
Mm.
and we ended up stopping play, before choosing a new quest after like, okay, guys, let's pick one that is a little up higher above our level and more story oriented.
Mhm.
So in that sense, yeah, once you left, we kind of were doing things that weren't really fun, but
Well,
no, like
I found the biggest problem was I was level 7, I guess, or 8. And I mean, I died all the time because I think there was, I can't remember if you or Swick was level 16.
yeah, I was up. I only had one character, so
Yeah, and then I feel like somebody else was like a level 12, and then we had a level 10, and then we had me, and I was just dying all the time. I was doing no damage, and it was fun because I got to hang out with you guys, but it wasn't like, oh my god, this is amazing. And the other thing I found is that, like, I got thrown into, because I can't remember whose game. I think we picked somebody's game who was kind of in the middle, probably Joel, because his level was in between the highest and lowest that we had in our group. And it threw me so far ahead in the story that I didn't know what was going on. So I was just kind of like running around, killing the guys that are attempting, mostly just being a meat shield, and, you know, trying to actually play in a way that would be helpful, and but not understanding who any of these people were and anything else. And then I went back into my game this week, and I was just kind of like, wow, I was so far ahead. Like, you know, I went back into mine and did some questing, and then finally just got to Sanctuary, which is like the main city. And then like knowing where we started, I was just like, oh my God, like I missed so much content jumping ahead a couple of levels there.
Right. I think that's why I stopped playing the first time around, because I missed one of my Borderlands nights with my other gaming buddies, and they were ahead of me, and I jumped in and got pulled into a quest. It's like, okay, what's happening? What are we doing? And it actually ended up being that same quest we did last night.
Oh, yeah?
Or that one night where we like saved Roland or something. And I feel like it's tough. Like I'm of the certain mind that a co-op game works best, especially if there's story involved, works best when you start from the beginning and continue to work together until the very end. I know it's frustrating and can be annoying because either you have to start over again or you have to wait for somebody. Like Paul and I are currently playing through Saints Row 4, and that's the only way we're playing through it. So we haven't been able to play in a couple weeks. So, but that's the way we want to experience the story. So we have to wait until it fits in.
The way that Joel and I played WoW, and that's why it took so long for us to get to 90, is that we were only playing together. Now that we're both 90, we're playing a lot more separately because we're just like, well, we're not going to out-level each other, so, you know, we can just do whatever we want, play whenever we want, and no one's going to get left behind. But if you're trying to level a game together, like, that's hard to coordinate. And I mean, we live together, and, you know, it was just the two of us, and even then we could only work out one night a week to actually put some solid time into a game. So it's tough.
I mean, there's only so much time in a week, you know, like and I mean, what Borderlands 2 tries to do to fix the issue in the sense that they have like a certain range where they'll say like, okay, it's all right for you guys to play together, and we just fit in that range. But the way they do quests is based on the host of the game.
Yeah.
So even if you've completed it, it still says the host still has the choice for you to do it again. And I think they also have a weird way of when you try to start a game up again on your own, you have to make sure to choose your old game as opposed to the game you played co-op, because that'll override your single player.
Yeah.
It's just, it again, like by trying to fix the issue, it just has to become more complicated. And I don't know how to fix it, but it feels like the only way to fix it is to just, you know, life hack it and say, okay, we're only going to do this together at a specific time to do it together.
Speaking of doing it together at a specific time, we are going to be playing Borderlands 2 right after our episode finishes. So probably in about half an hour or so, we're going to load it up and have at her. And that'll
Kill
be
some more midgets.
Yeah, that'll be our Gamers Inn post show. So if you guys want to join us, anyone who's listening live, anyone who's listening to this, we're going to do this as often as possible after the show on Fridays. So that's about 10 o'clock Eastern, right?
Yes.
On Friday nights, and that's over on the Gamers Inn Twitch channel, or you can also check out Swick's Twitch channel because he plays with us in streams as well. So there are two different sides of the story that you can see. So that being said, Ryan and I really appreciate the continued support of our show, along with the support of our sponsor, Doghouse Systems. You can use the code TheGamersIn to double your RAM when you purchase a new gaming rig. Head on over to doghousesystems.com and get your order on. Which brings us to Quickfire News.
Iwata reflects on Yamauchi. Nintendo President Satoru Iwata learned about risk and failure from former President Hiroshi Yamauchi. If you do the same thing as others, it will wear you out, Iwata said. Nintendo is not good at competing, so we always have to challenge the status quo by making something new rather than competing in an existing market. It's nice to see a company stray from the pack, but for how long can they survive with a see what sticks policy? It's like throwing shit at a wall kind of thing.
No one
like
throws shit at a wall.
Monkeys I'm not. That is just continue.
You can see the Steam controller in action. Valve has posted a video on their YouTube channel showing off the new Steam controller. Jeff Billinghausen, an engineer at Valve, plays games like Portal 2, Civ 5, and Papers, Please using the new controller, and it looks pretty cool. Go check it out at youtube.com/Valve.
Speaking of GTA, Rockstar gives crooks a night off. Grand Theft Auto Online, the online component to GTA 5, which launched in early October, has had its fair share of issues. Rockstar even said before launch that online would be a bit of a mess. To compensate for the rocky start, Rockstar is depositing $500,000 of in-game cash into each player's account. The stimulus package, which will be available to those who've played anytime during October 2013.
The holiday bundles for the 360 have been announced. They are priced at $299 and $399. The first of the $299 bundles features no Kinect, but a 250 gig hard drive and copies of Halo 4 and Tomb Raider. The other $299 bundle has a 4 gig hard drive, but comes with a Kinect as well as Kinect Sports Adventures Kinect Sports Season 2 and Kinect Adventures. Woo. The $399 bundle is the same as the Kinect bundle, but will up your hard drive space to 250, and you get a copy of Forza Horizon. Xbone who?
You get a dedicated server, and you get a dedicated server, and yes, even you get a dedicated server.
Yay!
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Executive producer of Ghosts, Mark Rubin, confirmed via Twitter that dedicated servers will be used on current gen, next gen, and PC with Ghosts. It's gonna have Ghosts in all the servers. In follow-up tweets, it's almost Halloween. Rubin said the developer is hoping to add a server browser, and the ability to rent ranked servers after launch, as well as mod tools for the PC version. It's not as exciting. Exciting news for hardcore fans. Same old for people sick of COD.
There's going to be a Hearthstone tourney at BlizzCon. The first ever Hearthstone tournament, titled the Innkeeper's Invitational, will take place at this year's BlizzCon in a month's time. The Invitational features 8 of the most passionate Hearthstone players chosen by Blizzard. The best of 5 matches will feature players using one of 3 decks they bring to the tournament, with losing decks being thrown out. You can check out all the info on the Hearthstone news section of battle.net. Which pretty much brings us to our end of the show / topic of the week, which is going to be Extra Life. We are reminding everyone that we are going to be playing games for 25 hours this year because, time change. In honor of or for the Extra Life charity, which I think we're both playing for the same hospital again this year, aren't we? Sick Kids in Toronto?
Yep, Sick Kids. It's very important. I don't know about you, but it's a very important hospital to myself, having personally be connected to that place. So it's always nice to give back. It is fairly close to where I live. So, I mean, if a kid gets really sick, that's where he'll end up going. Or she.
They don't discriminate.
They do not discriminate as long as you're a kid, mind
That's
you.
That's very true.
If you're an adult, you go to the real hospital.
Not that Sick Kids is not a real hospital, Ryan.
Fuck. I swear, Extra Life is very important to us, and we're looking super forward to playing video games and collecting donations from anybody who's doesn't want to watch us play video games. Like, here's your money. Like, I don't want to watch you lose it.
But what we are doing is...
What are we doing?
We are going to be streaming from 10 a.m. Eastern until about 2 a.m. Eastern. And that's going to be on the A-Move Twitch channel, which is right here, where you're watching right now. So that is twitch.tv/AMoveTV. And we're going to be streaming for, again, what is that, 16, 18, some insane amount of hours? We decided not to stream the full 25 hours this year on purpose because we decided that given that a lot of our team lives in apartment buildings / with roommates situations, we were just going to be respectful to the other people that we had because someone screamed at like 4:30 in the morning last year because they got scared playing a scary game and woke up the entire apartment building. Who would that have been? I don't know.
That was my bad. I mean, you had, to my defense, you had your speakers pretty loud watching the stream, and Slender Man, whew, I don't
Yeah.
know. But that being said, that doesn't mean people on our team won't be streaming into the wee hours. Maybe not with, maybe without commentary, with just
That's
quiet
true, which is,
notes.
yeah, pretty much what my plan is just to kind of, sit back, not really do too much commentating, just send it out there if anyone wants to watch and watch me get sleepier and sleepier and keep us company in the chat room and all that kind of fun stuff. So that's going to be on AMove TV. We have all kinds of guests featured this year. We have combined with the Tadpool team from last year, so everyone is under the Gamers Inn banner this year. We're very excited about that, and probably the one I'm most excited about that we haven't announced yet is Nicole Spag from Ladies of Leet. And
Cool.
the final score is going to be joining us for Borderlands 2, along with the friend of many, many Frog Pants shows. She used to do the posters for Movielicious back when that was still a podcast, and that is Cashel. She is going to be joining us. So we're going to have a ladies play Borderlands kind of stream to end off the night. So I'm pretty psyched
Sweet.
about that, because we have to wait for all the kids to go to bed. They both have
Yeah.
little ones, so has to be after 8 Pacific.
Right, they're out in the west.
Yeah, they're out in the West, which is good because they will just be getting, excited to play games when I'm starting to go, oh dear God, it's midnight.
What have I done?
What have I done?
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We last year we did it for 24 hours and we raised $2,000.
We did $2,001.
Yeah, 2001. So this year we're our goal is 2,000, but I mean, if you really look at everybody's personal goals, it adds up to way over 2,000.
It does, yeah.
So I'm really hoping we can get over 2,000, and we are
Yeah.
starting early this year and really just knocking the advertising out of the park.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Last year I had $200 was my goal, and I was able to raise $500, so I'm pretty excited. And so I made $500 my goal this year. And if you want to help us, you can support myself, Ryan, the team as a whole, or any other individual on the team. You can head to bit.ly/TGI Extra Life 2013 and pledge to anybody. And I mean, that all goes straight to the kids. Well, to the hospitals that help the kids.
It'll eventually get around to the kids.
Yeah.
We did not get tote bags this year. I know I promised last year that we would have some sort of tote bag to give away, a la PBS, but
Jeez.
we couldn't swing it. Maybe next year if the demand is high enough. But no, I'm looking forward to it. We will have prizes though for donators. That's not to say we won't have
Yes.
something to give away.
Actually, one of our prizes is going to be detailed in a short ad right after the show, so I'm very excited about that. So just before we go, I just wanted to say thank you very much to Jim Bean on Twitter. He posted a picture. He is currently packing on his way to Disney, and he posted a picture of the essentials, which included the Gamers Inn t-shirt. So if you want to see that, you can go over to Twitter and see, I believe both myself and the Gamers Inn account retweeted that picture, so you can check it out on Twitter. Or if you want your own TGI t-shirt, you can head on over to slashloot.com. We have our Gamers Inn... Ryan is wearing a Gamers Inn t-shirt right now.
I am.
Fancy.
I wore it to work today.
Nice.
I was a walking billboard today.
Did anyone donate to Extra Life because of it?
Well, no, there's nothing.
Then
extra.
you failed.
I wore my Extra Life shirt the other day. It's that bright orange one, and you feel like you're like a traffic cone.
I forgot to order mine last year. I hit the goal and everything, and then I just totally forgot to order one. I know, fail.
They're not that bad.
Yeah.
They're
So, anyways, yeah, you can head on over to slashloot.com, grab yourself a Gamers Inn t-shirt. There are plenty of other t-shirts there from all of your favorite podcasts. Ladies of Leet have their t-shirts up over there. So does Zamp, which is Ryan's other show, Zombies Ate My Podcast. And there's also t-shirts from other A-Move shows like Starcast. So head on over to slashloot.com and grab yourself a t-shirt. I think that pretty much brings us to the end of our show, so you can visit us on the web at gamersinpodcast.com. You can also find us on AMove TV, along with other fabulous podcasts, including Starcast, Campaign Roundtable, Biggest Fan, AMove Radio, and The Angry Chicken, which again is my new show that's premiering on AMove TV this Monday at, 10 p.m. Eastern Time?
10 p.m.
So late. so late, but it's going to be so much fun.
You're going to be a sleepy chicken.
I am going to be a very sleepy chicken. So you can follow us on Twitter. You can find me, Jocelyn, at GIS Gamer. Ryan is at R. Murphy, and don't forget to follow the show at The Gamers Inn. The video versions of all our episodes can be found on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Jocelyn Moffat. You should totally go and subscribe. You can also find the show on Facebook and Google+. If you want to email the show and ask us some questions or tell us about your Extra Life experience, you can do so at info@gamersinpodcast.com. Before we go, I just want to give a quick shout out and thank you to Greg Moffat for creating our music. You can find him on Twitter at SoundsInfluence. We would also like to thank Joel Duggan, who does all of our graphic work. You can find him and everything he does at joelduggan.com. So thanks for staying at the Gamers Inn, and remember, tune in next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hi, my name's James Bartholomew, and this year I'm going to be playing with the Gamers Inn team for Extra Life Charity on November 2nd. I come from a podcast called Initiative Check, and I'm one of the team that runs IndieLove.com. I stream on www.twitch.tv, it's actually Yagavos, and that's where you can find me on Twitter at Yagavos. What we're doing for the Extra Life Charity is we're going to be playing games for 25 hours to raise $2,000 for the Children's Miracle Network. What that means is that we're going to be playing whatever you want and streaming it on twitch.tv/amovetv. What we want you to do is spread the word and donate to that cause to help us raise that money for the children's games. Come and stop by on the Twitch channel and support us. Come and play games with us. Come and have fun. It's all going to be a blast and it's all going to be very exciting. As I said, 25 hours, and that's a feat. That's going to be really difficult, but it's also going to be a freaking blast. The person who donates most of the team is, as a special prize from the team, is going to get to decide my hair colour for Christmas. Be any dark colour you want, and I'll dye it that colour. I'll video the whole dyeing process, and it'll be up on the internet. So what you need to know mainly is November 2nd, 25 hours, twitch.tv/amovetv, and the donation page is bit.ly/TGI Extra Life 2013. Thank you for listening to us, thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you then.